You are listening to an all-new episode of the Model Experience podcast, live from the Model House.
The Model Experience is the #1 resource for models. Real models, real stories, real resources.
Visit themodelexperience.net to learn more and be sure to follow us on Instagram at The Model Experience. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to an all-new episode of the Model Experience podcast. We are coming to you from the Model Experience headquarters. This is actually our new headquarters, which is super sexy, I would say.
It's fabulous. It's fabulous, darling.
Shout out to my co-host, Miss Rio Summers.
Hey, y'all.
And our special guest, Nadia.
Hi.
Our special guest model, Miss Nadia. We actually met last year.
Yeah, 2018.
Yep, during Fashion Week, believe it or not.
Yes, and we walked a show together.
Silence.
Yes.
I remember.
Which was loud, not silent.
Yeah,
that was a loud
it was,
show.
Actually,
yeah.
the irony of that.
So there was no music, but it was definitely a loud show. I loved it.
Anyway, we're excited to have you on board today. Currently, I know that you're unsigned.
Yes.
But you're, I would say, successful. You worked with Fashion Nova, Young and Reckless, kind of the list goes on. So I just want to pick your brain a little bit, and then, you know, maybe you can give us some tips for our listeners as far as like how to get started. And also, I know you're international, so that part, you know, where did you get started?
Originally Houston, Texas. That's where I'm from. And I just built myself from there with just photo shoots here and there. Anything I can like put my hands on, honestly, because LA versus Houston, way different in multiple ways. But since I gained that confidence and that stability, that I know exactly what I'm doing and how to get there, that's when I transitioned to LA, where it's bigger and faster and just way more opportunity.
So I'm going to pause you right there just because I have a question. You said that you just started doing anything you could get your hands on. Mm-hmm. So how did you go about that process?
Well, actually, one story. Since I was a third grade, I've always wanted to be a model. I always used to say, you're going to see me on, like, Academy and all just this stuff. Honestly, I don't know why I would say it. I just felt deep down in my heart I wanted to become one. And I would even force my mom in elementary, going to Limited 2 at the time. It's now called Justice.
My God, Limited 2. Oh, my God.
I remember that.
We would go to
obsessed.
The store. Oh, yeah, no, trust me. Every tracksuit I had. And then, it progressed to Juicy, but, that's a whole different.
Yes. Same. We are the same. Girl, I used to wear those shirts that said, remember the ones that said Limited 2, like, loud as hell?
Flower.
Yeah, so, like, a little bit, like, the jewels all over. That was my jam. But anyways.
We would go into the store, and I would always, like, because I was, like, in elementary, and so I would tell my mom, like, go ask him. She's like, hi, my daughter wants to become a model for you guys. How did she come about that? Because we were so clueless. Like, agency or no agency. How do you just, like, market yourself correctly in that aspect? But it all came when I was in high school, actually. I went to a party, and this one photographer was like, hey, I want to shoot you. And I was like, what?
That sounded... It sounds like he was trying to kill you, girl, the way you just...
I was like, wait, what do you mean? Like, what did I do? Do I know you? And he's like, no, I'm a photographer, and I think you have this look to you. I want to see, like, have you ever done a photo shoot? And I was like, no, but I'm open. Mm-hmm. And then eventually I met girls who did makeup, and then they would, like, connect me with their photographer. And there were small building photographers, but I was small in building as well. So, like, when I say anything I got my hands on, obviously not anything. You should know what you're doing before you go ahead and do it.
Trust your gut, follow your gut.
Definitely.
For sure, and just always be safe, first of all. That's, like, the rule number one.
No job is worth...
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
I actually have a tip of my own for the listeners right now. Always ask if you can bring somebody to set if you're uncomfortable. And I feel like if the person says no. It's
flag.
I'm going to interject here because the Model Experience handles this a certain way.
Yes,
because,
true.
Example, we have 100 models. Let's just say that number. Say there's 100 models participating. If everyone brings a +1, it's now 200 people. So, yes, but there is a way that we answer this, and I love that you brought it up.
Yeah.
So pretty much what we say to our models is anyone underage, 100%, they have to bring a guardian. But anyone who's above 18 and over, basically we recommend that they get dropped off by someone. So the answer to someone who's maybe not sure on our end is like, we recommend that you bring someone, get comfortable, and then once you get situated, we'll ask that they come back for you once the session's over.
Yeah. So you know what? I understand the way that I would say this for the model experience is like, we're a reputable program.
Absolutely.
We're very reputable. So it's like, it's okay to leave your kids with us. It's okay to have your 20-year-old come to us.
For
like,
sure.
we're not on that kind of tip.
Versus a one-off photographer.
I was about to say
That's what I was gonna say.
The difference was just if it was a random photographer
For sure.
and it was one-on-one, then yeah. But model experience is like a family almost.
I love
we're
it.
definitely
I
a
love
family.
it. I love it.
So like you should feel safe.
Yeah.
Because you're always safe with family.
Yeah, we got the credentials, boo. We're not lying. We're not.
I'm so glad we had that conversation though, because
Yeah.
it's so important.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
I know,
sweetheart.
I
It
know.
just came to me.
Okay, so did you and mom? So mom helped you, so that's amazing to have your family support.
At first, I didn't though,
Okay.
because I come from a background where it's like my dad's Arab, so everything was educational.
Schooling, yep.
Education, like study. That was
Yeah.
all. Like his vocabulary was study. Do you have homework?
You're like, what?
Do you have
This
tests?
book is closed.
And then like my mom, she's from a Spanish heritage, so she's more lenient and understanding in a way, but two culturals clashing together and then me being Americanized, it was kind of like finding my own self but still abiding and respecting my parents. And to the point where like I did go to like college, I finished everything, did my prerequisites, co-requisites, but then I showed them my responsibility by small things, like being on time for this, getting straight A's, and then showing them like, hey, I can handle my life. You guys should trust in me that if I really want to truly be a model, you should let me go out
Make
and
that decision,
experience it and grow from it and see where it takes me, because you never know.
For sure.
And then that's when I got their approval, when they saw like all the big things and they saw these
She
photos.
could handle it, yeah.
And they started seeing photos and they're like, okay, this is my daughter. So,
That's the best. That's the best when your parents are like, oh my God, this is my baby girl.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Nice.
It's the best. That's amazing. So tell me about your goals as a model. I know you're unsigned right now, but you're still obviously booked and busy doing
What
your own
agencies
thing.
have you been with in the past?
I've honestly only been with one agency, and they were auto models.
Okay.
They were like,
Oh.
yeah,
That's
they were
that's
really
good.
good. They got me a lot of talent as well. I was in Ballers actually at
Nice.
season 5, episode 6 and 7. And then also...
Did that get you union or no?
No,
Got you.
unfortunately, since I am
That's okay.
signed with an agency, you have to like do this whole other...
Got it. Process.
There's all
Yeah.
these other
Yeah.
credentials to become non-union,
Yeah.
union, all of that. And so, and they also got me front campaign for Milani Cosmetics. So I was
Nice.
actually like,
I just went to one of their events.
Really?
Yes, they did a collab with Trend Mood,
Ooh.
and it was really sexy, so that was fun.
Yeah, it was for their highlights they just came out with. So,
I was just about to say I have their highlighter on my face.
really?
We're doing a
Yes.
full Milani plug right
I
now.
swear to you, the rose gold
Love
one.
it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so pretty.
I love it.
That's fine. Okay, so earlier, sorry, I'm just taking this back to runway, but earlier you mentioned like a really big milestone for you, which was like being one of the shortest runway models at an event. So tell us about like that challenge, and do you still do runway, or like what's your opinion on that?
Actually, my opinion in general with runway commercial, be yourself. That's the most important key term, is just to be yourself, because a lot of us get lost looking in society and just being like, oh, well, you see yourself as flawed because you see this model, this girl, like, you know, when you start comparing, instead of looking up to people for motivation, you start becoming insecure. And I think the number one key is just to be yourself, because at the end of the day, like I said before, you are your worst critique. And no matter what people can say, good or bad, you should always transform that as a growth within yourself to stay true to yourself. And it was a big turning point, which was 2018 LA Fashion Week's Art Hearts show. for a black tape project, I was the shortest model there. And it's because the designer himself wanted me. And like I told you guys, I was doing my makeup, and the girls were like, how tall are you? And the minimum's 5'9". And I was just like, guess. And they're like, well, 5'9". I'm like, nope. And after...
And how tall are you?
I'm 5'6.5".
Got it.
So...
He just saw something that he liked in you and wanted it nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Being true to myself and not... Because, like, once you feel like you're flawed or there's something wrong, you have to fix yourself this way or that way, people are going to notice that.
Yeah.
Because your charisma and your personality, your energy, it shows.
Yeah.
It shows a lot, especially your energy.
Mm-hmm.
And doing the fashion show, and I was just like all these girls towering me, and I was still there just like so strong knowing that I did this. And I actually ended up being on Daily Mail.
Nice.
And it was
That's
showing
so dope.
everywhere. Yeah, I had friends back home. They were like, no way. Because a lot of people, they doubt you.
Yeah.
But that should just be another obstacle that you have to overcome.
For sure.
And that being said, that like brought me so much confidence within myself that like anything's possible if you keep on working hard towards your goals. And my last runway that I did was this year's for the BET Awards for Carl Kanai.
Dope.
So,
I
yeah.
love Carl. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, some of the like biggest celebrity or maybe artists like Bruno Mars, Miguel, I can think of so many artists that are like huge megastars and they're not tall.
Yeah, I feel like it's mostly short people.
Even though
that
modeling
are...
is like generally you're supposed to be tall, you're supposed to be, you know, a certain way, but I feel like it's transitioning so much.
Very
Of
inclusive.
course. It's like, that's what I say. I feel like sometimes if you're really going to be hard on yourself, you need to see this time era and you have to look in the future. Never look in the past, because of course if you look in the past, you're always going to be stuck. You know, with anything in life. This is just a whole life lesson now. But
Preach, girl.
yeah. But with that being said, it's just like everything's shifting, everyone's changing, whether it's height, size, looks, everything is different. It's just like, again, be yourself and stay true to yourself.
For sure.
I guess being really beautiful helps too.
Doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
So give us some on-camera tips. What do you have tip-wise for like any models that are about to be, I guess, on camera, even for the first or second time? They're like maybe a little nervous.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's like human nature to feel nervous. And they always say like picture everyone in their underpants. No. That's
like so old school.
It is
so
super old school, but like people know what I'm saying when I
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
But it's not even
Just gonna
that.
try that one next time.
And you stole my question. I was gonna ask that.
But you just have to. What really helps me is having a conversation first in the beginning, before you're like on camera or like when you're about to start. Just like have a conversation, whether it's like about yourself or about what you're doing, just to like let those nerves loose and just
Distraction too, even.
a distraction really helps because nerves can make you uptight, and
sure.
you can totally see that in the camera.
And if you talk to someone that you're working with on set and you just kind of break that ice, you're probably going to feel more comfortable anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to just like sit in silence.
Yeah,
And then
just,
we
like,
all
stare
start
at the
talking.
camera.
We sit in silence for the first 5 minutes until we're set up.
What do you do when you get nervous, though? On camera.
I'm not gonna lie. The last time I've been nervous on camera, I stood there and I was like, I'm nervous. And everyone just stopped and they were like, oh, and I was like, yeah. And then they all started laughing and then I started laughing and I was like, I'm just being real, like I am. And then after that, it just like I started feeling better. But a really good tip when you're on the camera, have a flow. You don't want to seem like a robot at all. You don't want to seem like super stiff, like, okay, this way, that way, that way. It's just like a flow, just like a music. You're like dancing in your head, but not like crazy dancing because you want to look cute at the same time.
Yeah, definitely have been learning a lot about that in the recent years. Like
The flow, it's all about flow.
where to position yourself too, especially, you know, because being on video is different from stills.
That's true.
You know, do you have any tips for that? Because you know how different that is. It's like an
Video.
unspoken thing almost.
Keep moving. Just like
You said the
every
flow?
angle, like just video is much different than camera. with video, you just gotta keep on moving because the camera's your best friend. You can't just be stuck on one position and walk towards it or like whatever you have to do. Just like keep that flow. And like, I mean, the cameraman should know what he's doing as well to capture that like flow. So it's like it's a work.
You hear that?
It's like a
You
work
hear that,
ethic.
cameraman?
You know, it's mutual bonding.
So what about stills?
Stills, I would say, I remember this one photographer. He was actually, it was for my Pravana shoot that I had, my hair campaign, and he taught me something really valuable. He was actually the photographer for Victoria's Secrets, and he told me what I would tell my models is listen to just any type of music that you can just like move your hands and just look at yourself. It's all about your eyes. Whether you want to like Tyra Banks smiles, where you like smile with your eyes and just like have that connection with the camera. Because like when you do, the photo just turns you can feel it better. Like you can feel more when you see that photograph. You look so connected, and the person looking at the photo feels connected within it. That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like just the flow.
Flow. There's a few models that come to mind, like you saying that flow really well.
Yeah.
There was a model we had on this show, Getcha, and she's just like with movement, she just like kills it. But her background is also like dancing. So I feel like, do you dance at all?
I used to when I was like super tiny, and my parents decided me just like to put me in everything and see what I'm best at.
Yeah.
But
do you think like you've pulled from your dancing at all for modeling, or have you pulled from anywhere else?
I think everything just like that I was opened up to when I was little. I just picked and chose everything that made me who I am today. So like dancing. I love to dance in general. Yeah. So off the camera, on the camera.
For sure.
Yeah, that'll definitely help with the movement thing though. If you're unafraid to get into the groove.
Break the ice. Just start playing music. Ask the photographer, ask the cameraman, can I play some music? You know, if it's not going to be distracting or if it's not going to interfere with whatever you're doing. Just like to get that movement and just feel like, you know, just
get in your zone, whatever it takes.
In the zone.
Yeah.
Because once you're in that zone, you are just killing it.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for coming on our show. We appreciate all of the knowledge that you've dropped. Tell our listeners where they can find you on Instagram. What's your handle?
It's at NadiaMualem. So it's Nadia Almualem.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, you guys go follow our girl. She's absolutely stunning if you can't tell.
And you can catch her on the runway at our Fashion Week event this October at the Los Angeles Convention Center. We will see you there, boo-boo.
All right. And that's a wrap.
If you're a new model looking to take your career and portfolio to the next level, visit The Model Experience